Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Change in Game, your place to find some new games to try out and enjoy. Good evening, everybody. My name is Delta Angelfire, and I'm here to bring you some cool new games. My co-hosts are experiencing technical difficulties, unfortunately, so I'm going to be, seems like I'm on my own for now. Tucker is unfortunately busy with work, and David is having some internet connection troubles, so hopefully he will be on a little later, but if not, then at least we can still entertain with some games and stuff. So, change in game. We're here to bring you some of the latest and greatest, some of our favorite games that we've been playing over the last, I don't know, months, years even, all kinds of things. As some of you guys know, last weekend was Tabletop Day, sponsored by Geek and Sundry and Will Wheaton and Felicia Day. They're a bunch of really awesome characters, so thanks to them. David was going to bring us a report of some of his gaming exploits at that time. My gaming exploits over the weekend involved D&D Attack Wing, so that would be quite enjoyable. I took third place, unfortunately, so no prizes there. But it was great fun, and of course, another flight path game from WizKids. A little bit more cohesive than Star Trek Attack Wing, but has really cool giant big dragons, so definitely should check that out. So basically, just to go on some games that maybe you haven't been to or heard of right now, I wanted to talk to you guys about a lovely little game called Among the Stars. Let's see if I can get my pictures up here. Among the Stars is a tabletop board game. It's a sci-fi theme. It's great for introductory level, and there's just so many things going for it. Among the Stars is a 2 to 4 player card drafting game where you build a space station with your fellow space station commanders. And each one of you has their own benefits for their space stations. Whoever scores the most points at the end wins. And yeah, this game has a neat spatial aspect of placing cards that you take and integrating them into your station, getting certain benefits by being adjacent to other cards or by just being a certain distance away from other cards. So this is a pretty lightweight game. It's very easy to understand. It's perfect for entry-level gamers. It also is a great 3-player game. I believe is like the ideal number for it because 3-player games are actually really hard to come by. Game time lasts about, depending on how skilled you are, you could go from 45 minutes to over an hour. But yeah, it has a little bit of strategy, a little bit of depth, and all kinds of cool things you can get out of it. So the basic way the game works is every round there are 4. You go over a period of 4 years building your space station. You can see on the track that we have 4 years here. This is the point scoring track and the round counter track. 4 years. Each year, everyone gets a hand of 6 cards. And ooh. Poor David, still stuck. Each year, every player gets a hand of 6 cards that they will be using to basically choose from to build their space station. This is kind of what your space station will look like after several turns. Each card has its own way of telling you what it costs to take or build, different types and such like that. So every turn you get 6 of these cards. You'll take one, lay it down. Everyone will take a card simultaneously, and they will then flip them over, reveal them, pay whatever the cost is in the top right corner of the card, much like any other drafting game like Seven Wonders or similar to some of the card drafting Dominion or Ascension games. You'll take your card, you'll pay the cost, whatever it is. It could be money, or it could also be money and power cubes. And Everyone reveals simultaneously. They place their card down somewhere on their station, making a nice, lovely little pattern or a grid-based thing for their ships. They will pass their hands to the next player, and they will repeat. They'll pick up another card, they will pay whatever it costs to place it in their station, and continue. Each card is worth a certain number of victory points. Here you can see the security station is worth 2 victory points, and each one of them has an effect. So this medical facility, you get extra points if you put it near power reactors. Or this power reactor doesn't have a special effect on its own, but it provides power cubes. Any module you place within 2 spaces of this one, so 1, 2, or 1, 2, or 1, 2, would be able to be paid for with a power cube from the station. So this command center here would be able to take one of the cubes off this station so you can build it. Yellow events take place after at the end of the game, so these are for end of the game scoring. They usually give you a lot of points, but again, you don't get them till the very end of the game. So this one is +1 point for every A or blue location on your station, which is basically, you know, kind of command structure, internal transportation, crew quarters, things like that. And it grabs you. You can have at most 1 of this kind of building in your station, and at most it can give you 8 points. So every card you add onto your station does cool and wonderful things, and it is basically kind of a points race. Every year you'll get 6 cards. Most of these you'll be able to build. Some of them you might have to trade in for new power reactors or for more cash, because some of these cards get pretty expensive. $5 and 1 cube, you only get $10 a year to spend on your 6 cards. So maybe you have to give up building your council room or your life support system to get more money so you can build your council room later, or to build an ambassador's quarters later, or something like that. It's a very easy game to learn, very easy to play, and I think this is an ideal game for entry-level gamers. You can see basically everyone's just working on their own stations, collecting points as they go. It comes with certain racial powers that you can begin with. Everyone starts with a little bit of a different advantage, and there are common goals you can try to accomplish. So it gives you a little bit of a replay value between each one. The deck changes about 25% between each game, so you never know exactly what you're going to see. The objectives are always random, so you never know which kind of station that you are going to have a better time building. The objectives range from, you know, build the most diplomatic structures, you know, embassy suites and council rooms and things for peacekeeping, to building the most marketplaces, which give you more money but don't give you as many points, or even to just having the most money at the end of the game. Each one of these can be claimed by whoever has the most of a certain thing at the end of the game, and it really just gives it, you know, the subtle differences to help you, you know, help advanced players just have different choices going on. And this is just in the base game. This game also has 2 or 3 expansions that add more modules, more cool stuff, more ways to get points, conflicts so that you can actually directly compare your station to another station. We've got there's a new expansion that's coming out that includes even these. You can see right here some of these double-sized cards. You pick one and recruit it, and you get the second one, and it just gives you a different way of constructing your space station, giving you different adjacency rules and all that kind of thing. Basically, it's just a fun game. You know, I've played Seven Wonders more than a few times, and you know, it has its own player interactability, but this game, it really lets you focus more on, you know, the card drafting mechanics. You're passing cards around to the other players, so you can more easily watch out for what they're building. Less focus on having, you know, a plethora of different resources to get what you want to build, and simplifying it down so you can focus more on what cards does the next guy want that I want to deny him, and what cards could I try to expect from the previous guy that he's not going to want. So if someone else is going heavy military, which gets bonus points usually for more of the same kind of kind of module. If the guy behind me has a turret, he's probably not going to pass me any turrets that he comes across because he's going to want them to, you know, score more points for himself. This really, I think, amplifies that a lot more than something like Seven Wonders did. You have fewer kinds of resources to worry about, so that's a plus in my book, and I enjoy it a lot. And yeah, I mean, it's just all around a solid game. If you've played Seven Wonders, you definitely know how to play this. This is a little bit easier in the card drafting department, like I was just saying, but it does add the whole, you know, spatialness to it. And as a puzzle gamer aficionado, I think that is just a really fun way to play, you know. And it's not time. There's no pressure. This isn't Galaxy Trucker, which I know a lot of people might have trouble with, and it's hilarious because I think it's one of the greatest games. But yeah, put things next to each other. No hard restrictions. You don't have any penalties. There's no if your ship station gets too large, you have to pay so and so much money, or you have to feed people or anything like that. There's nothing like that. It's just find a module you like, put it on your station if you can pay for it, count up all the coins at the end of the game, and you are set. Yeah. So this is a game I've been playing a lot over the last couple of weeks. Hopefully I will be playing it even more over the next few weeks with new expansions coming out. And yeah. Among the Stars, it's a fine game. I believe everyone should try it. It's got that. It's a really great sci-fi theme, which I think is actually kind of rare in board games. Solid gameplay overall, and definitely not something you'd regret picking up. So yeah, that is what I have to say for Among the Stars. And I have a good time playing this. Let's see if I have a David on the line. He says almost there. Let's see. It's 9:15. It's so fast to go through these reviews when I'm just the only one talking. So I'm going to see what David has over here. Anyone hanging out in chat? What do you guys think? What do you guys think about board games? Did any of you guys head out to Tabletop Day this weekend? You know, just let me know. Let's chat it up. Let's have some fun, right? Come on. Let's play some games. Yeah. Among the Stars. Oop, not that one. Where is my overlay? Alright. So since David has just taken a couple more minutes to get ready, I am just going to jump in to the next game I want to talk about. The next game I want to talk about is called Gratuitous, A Space Battles 2. Everything you could hope for in a name really is exactly what it says on the box. So, Gratuitous Space Battles 2 is something I would recommend to any Star Trek Attack Wing player, and I'll tell you why. This game is not actually out yet, so I can't say that I have played it. It is in closed beta, but I haven't gotten a chance to get around to it yet. But I found this game earlier today, and I was looking at it, and it just really struck me as something, well, hilarious, because it looks great. This is coming out April 16th, so it's going to be just a couple days from now. The entire point of this game is you build a fleet with a certain amount of money or squadron points, similar to, you know, certain other space battle games. You set them up in your starting area, like some other space battle games, and then you just let loose and let them at it. Some people have mentioned that Star Trek Attack Wing might have been becoming more of a deck-building game. This is a game where you build a fleet and you let it loose. This is not a real-time strategy game. This is not a tactical game. You build your ships in your fleet, and then you press the Go button. As you equip your fleet, you can give certain orders before the beginning of the game. Certain ships can be like, you are targeting, you know, enemy dreadnoughts, but you are working on point defense so that you defend the big ship over here from any incoming missiles and things like that. basically you give your ships the best orders you can, and you send it against whatever your opponent has, who also has built a fleet, given it certain commands, targeting priorities, and things like that. And they just go at it until one side is there and one side is not. Gratuitous Space Battles 2. Apparently with 10,000 times more spaceships. I don't know, I think that was a little bit of hyperbole by one of the reviewers, but it looks, just looking at some of the screenshots and some of the videos that they have, it looks pretty darn gorgeous. It has so many different kind of customizable options. I mean, every one of these slots that you can see in this picture here is a space that you can put something new, like an engine or a weapon or shield plating and things like that. But yeah, you set them loose, and basically the entire game is just, running the simulation of how it goes. You get to watch your ships fly around, blast each other with lasers, really cool neon lasers, pew pew. It even has silly little things like just reports from your ships going across at a ticker of the on the top of the screen. Out of ammo, retreating from the battle, or we're taking hits, we're going down. And really, it just seems like a great concept. I will say once again that I have not played this game yet, but in 2 days when it releases, I will definitely be picking up my copy and seeing how it goes from there. And hopefully, it will be really awesome. Let's see what we got here. David, are you with us?
A
little bit.
Sorry, yes, I am here. I am working out the audio kinks here.
Sweet. Cool. I've just been rambling on currently about Gratuitous Space Battles 2 and how similar it is to the deck building aspect of Star Trek Attack Wing.
Ah!
Yes, it's probably something not a lot of people have heard of before. There was a Gratuitous Space Battles 1 that I did not hear of before. But Gratuitous Space Battles 2 is coming out April 16th. It's just a thing I was previewing and came across and thought was really interesting to share. You have a certain amount of money, or, points, if you will, to create a fleet, set it up in your starting zone, give it its basic orders, go kill this or go kill that, or focus on fighters, or focus on planet killing. I don't know. I don't think there's actually planet killing in this game. And basically, it's exactly what it says on the box. Gratuitous Space Battles. You get to see your ships go at it with lots and lots of pretty lasers and fighters and things like that. You send them up against each other. It's not a tactics game or anything. You just watch what they do.
So you're kind of more of like the admiral sitting at HQ rather than even like a fleet commander.
Exactly.
Okay.
And I thought it was a really, really amusing concept, and it looks darn pretty.
Yeah, I like the notion of it. So you said that's coming out on the 18th?
The 16th.
Oh, 16th. So that's
like 2 days.
Thursday?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So definitely something I want to pick up. I've also heard rumors that there are there are more kinds of customizability in your ship looks and designs. So from what I understand, you can kind of create your own, what am I looking for, like your own skins and stuff. And someone, I believe, took it upon themselves to create a Super Star Destroyer skin.
Yeah.
So
oh, I'm sure.
I am certain that you will be able to find, after not too long, or even perhaps make yourself, Star Wars skins, Star Trek skins, Babylon 5, if you're back for that. Bring in some base stars and a Battlestar Galactica. And I think that would be just really cool. And I could finally we could probably finally see what a Super Star Destroyer would fare against a fleet of, Enterprises.
I personally look forward to the Stargate SG-1 cruisers.
The Prometheus.
Yes, or my favorite, the Daedalus.
Oh, that was cool. We could have some. I wonder if someone has made a. They probably have by now. One of the giant pyramid ships. The Hataks. No, is that the big? Was that the big ones?
No, they were
Those were the
the
shuttles.
Hataks were like they were launched from the pyramids.
They were like the medium range shuttles. They weren't quite
Yeah.
fighters, but they were a little beefier than like they were a little beefier than fighters, but definitely not motherships.
Yeah, I think they were just called motherships.
Yeah, that could be it. Um, but yeah, I thought it was a really cool concept, and it's definitely something I want to check out.
I like it.
Was there something else I was going to say about it? I feel like there was. Oh, and of course, no game would be the same because it definitely has multiplayer components. So you build your fleet, you give it orders, and you upload it to wherever it is for their asynchronous multiplayer. You download it. You download it onto your machine, and then you say, okay, here's the fleet we're going up against. Here's the fleet I'm going to send up against it. And since it's all hands-off, cinematic kind of fighting with giant explosions, very what do I want to say? The guy who did Transformers? It's very Michael Bay-esque combat scenes. And so it all goes by itself. All you have to do is upload your fleet, and anyone else can take it on and fight it, and you'll have these same results if you were to download their fleet and try it on your machine.
Mm.
And lasers. Oh, look at all the lasers. Hello, Chubby Cow Juice. Nice to meet you. How are you doing today? We are talking about games and gaming. And
We like the shinies.
And gratuitous laser beams and rockets and deflector shields. Oh, there is a campaign mode for this. From what I understand, it's kind of a pasted on campaign mode. Like the main draw of this would be just creating cool fleets, but there is a single player kind of campaign that you can work through, but it's not very long. I'm pretty sure the main draw is getting to share your fleets with your friends and seeing how they do against each other.
Yeah, or your enemies.
Ever wanted to build a battleship with purple rotating radars and 64 engines? Well, we have good news for you. some of their little basic little spoilers there. It's cool. It's fun.
I want a Serenity mod.
Oh, that could be fun.
I know it didn't have guns, but this one would have guns.
Yes. But yeah, that is coming out Thursday. They don't actually have a price attached to it right now. But from what I understand, I think it's going to be like $14.99.
Sounds good. For something that doesn't have much of an in-depth campaign mode, and it seems to have, it's a cool factor, but ultimately it doesn't have tons of replayability. I mean, the replayability seems to be in changing up your fleet and seeing how that's going to affect the battle.
Changing up your fleet or just building entirely new fleets. You've got a number of different races, different technologies you can try, 100 different weapons. Beam lasers 10 times as beamy, explosions 10 times more gratuitous, and 50,000 times more gratuitous than before. We love gratuity. But yeah, the only other thing I can think of for this one is that the original did a lot with DLC packs. They weren't exactly cheap DLC packs, but from what I understand, they did add a lot to the game, so I believe that's fair enough. Like normally people would be like $2 or $3 for a DLC pack, but they would do like these ones did, I believe, were $6, but added like an entire new race of kind of technology or upgrades and things like that.
As long as they keep things like that balanced, then I'm okay with it, but I'd hate to see a pay-to-win scheme. I'm okay with, hey, you have a cool fleet, and now I have to adapt to you. Like, maybe my really good fleet isn't great against what you have, and I have to go try out some different things, then okay, sure. If it's a rock, paper, scissors aspect, then I can live with it. But if it's the DLC wins, then I'm not okay with it.
I just feel like it would be interesting to see a tournament of this game because there's not really a lot of interaction between the players.
Yeah. Well, then it's even yeah, build it and let it run.
That'd be cool if you could have just a giant kind of like campaign kind of setting. You know, keep a map of yourself, a giant map, and then just mark out different battle locations and have terrain changes or no, what is it? DMZ changes, territory capturing, and things like that.
I'm sure people can come up with. Community gets behind the game, and anything is possible.
Indeed.
Doesn't even have to be a big community. I mean, by the time you get 500 people behind a game, they can run with it. And that's the great thing about the online communities we have these days.
User-generated content is just magnificent.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see if I can get you... Oop, wrong way. Alright. So, David, how are you doing today? Glad you could join.
It's been a day.
It's been one of those days.